Hi chosen tribe, it's your girl chosen Empress, and I am back with another video. So today I'll be sharing on my experience with mental illness and how I got into mental health. In fact, I'll be starting a new series on mental health just to spread some public education and spread some knowledge and awareness for mental health. As you guys know, I am a big champion for mental health, and also that I'm doing my degree in mental health. My foundation mainly focused on mental health. I'm all about promoting mental health. So back to the video. So I was about 2 years old, yeah, two, when there's this, we call them madman in Jamaica. I don't know where else, in whichever country, what do you call them? But yeah, his name for the purpose of this video is Jay. So he's not one of those violent types. He will just come around and ask for cash or whatever. So I remember distinctly, I was two. So usually I would stand at the gate and wave at people who are passing by, and Jay would always come to the gate, just stand there, and he'd just look at me and he would say things. Obviously my understanding at age 2 wouldn't have been all that great, and now he doesn't really speak English much other than to beg you for change. So I'm not sure of the conversations that we would have had, but we had conversations. And I remember one of those days my mother came out and saw me, and she snatched me up so fast, and she basically banished me from going to the gate, because at that time I think, or even now, people still think that mental illness is contagious. And that was a journey for me. So at about age 12, Vanessa and I, you would have met her in the previous video. If you have not, I will put a link at the top so you can go and watch that video. She's my best friend of 27 years, 28 years. So anyways, we grew up together. So she lived a couple houses from me. So in high school, in grade 7, we were both doing swimming. So on Saturdays we would meet up downtown. For all the Jamaicans folks, you know where downtown is. So we went by the KFC this particular Saturday, and a gentleman came and joined us at our table. So he was talking, and we were talking. Me and he was well dressed, he was well put together, he was speaking clearly, we were understanding what he was saying. We all were having a conversation. But I don't know, something went off in my brain, like, this guy, something is a little bit off about him. So I remember I took up my phone and I messaged Vanessa. I was like, we need to go. And I realized that he would not leave, so he's continuing conversation. 30 minutes passed and he's still talking to us. Remember, we're 12. This is a big man. So we decided that, okay, Vanessa was gonna go in the bathroom first. I would stay out there and continue talking to him, and then Vanessa would call me and I would come into the bathroom, and we'd stay there for extended time, and then hopefully he would leave. That did not work. We came out, he was still there, so we told him that we're gonna get juice downstairs. Thank God the KFC in downtown, the juice dispenser was downstairs, we were upstairs. So we took up our stuff and we told him, we're just gonna go and get juice and come back up. We got juice and we head out. So we got outside of KC, walking up to Parade to take the bus home, and we were just laughing. We're talking and saying how this man was so crazy and how we escaped him, and we're laughing how he probably still sitting up there waiting on us to come back, and whatever. We were joking, laughing, and one man said, "Mo, turn around." When I looked, that was the man. He was there. So we felt afraid and we started running. Tribe, it was a thing. The man ran us down. So we were running on the street like it was a chase. I remember I said to Vanessa, we can't run together. You run on that side of the road, and so she was on the right side of the road, I was on the left hand side. So I said to her, all right, shouting, I said, I'm going into this store. So I ran into the store, and I was there posing posing. So he came in and he looked, and I was just there posing like a mannequin while she was running up the street. And then when he saw her, he went across the street and ran her down, and I came out and ran up. She ran into a store. He didn't realize which store and it was just like that. We ran. It was a thing. When we got to parade, we were breathless. And obviously, you know, parade have the crowd, so we lost him. We were so terrified. The man, and I remember I sat down that night after I told my parents what happened, and I was saying, but clearly that man is mad and Jay is mad. So I was kind of confused, because I'm saying all my life I've experienced madness in the form of madmen on the road, or Jay just clearly lost his brain. But someone who was fully clothed and was clean and could be able to have a fully conversation with us, could he be insane too? Like, that was a question that was going on in my brain. And I think that's where fear entered into my life. I'm gonna do a live in 5 on fear, so you can go and watch that too. But yeah, this is like a personal experience of fear. So fear entered my life at that point. And I remember ever since that day, if I saw a madman on the road, I would just start walking funny. I'd walk in the middle of the road. Like, you know, in Jamaica, they're always on the roadside, and you'd have to pass them on the roadside. I was so fearful that I didn't even want to pass them on the roadside. I'd rather walk in the road and have a truck or a vehicle hit me down, people, rather than pass one. And it was so bad that I think my fear attracted them to me. So I remember another time I was downtown. This was shortly after, maybe like a couple months after. I was standing there waiting on Vanessa. Yeah, I was waiting on Vanessa, and this mad lady just came and she just fist me. I mean, I almost urinated myself. It hot, bad. I was just standing there, you know, minding my own business, and she just came up to me and fist me. Tears came to my eyes. I didn't even wait on Vanessa that day. I just walked straight into a bus. That's the first incident after the man ran us down. Second time, I was walking past, and so after this, I always joked like I got this antenna. So wherever they are, I would automatically locate them, and they would locate me. So I would try to avoid them before they catch me. So I was walking downtown again, waiting on Vanessa. These are all when I'm in high school, waiting on Vanessa. And my antenna picked up one. I spot him from so far. So, you know, I start walking wide, and the man saw everybody there, singled me out, and he threw liquid on me. I didn't even know if it was water or it was juice, but he just threw the liquid in my face. Another incident, I was on the road with my parents. I don't remember where we were going. Well, it wasn't downtown this time. I think it was like halfway through a crossroads. And this man threw urine on me. Then another time I was walking in crossroad, and one just started following me, and he was like, "Cherry, come back. Cherry, come back. Cherry, me love you. Me love it was." And I'm like, "Sir, I don't know you. Sir, I don't know you. I don't know you. Leave me alone." He walks me all the way to the bus stop, begging me to come back in his life. And my fear intensified. Like, I would just freeze up. And I remembered the last time something, so this happened throughout my life. They run me down. Well, one run me down, threw things on me, hit me, curse me, follow me. And I remember this one time I was in, I think, where was I think I was in Half a Tree, I don't know, one of those places, and one kissed me. he just walked up to me like I was walking in front, so obviously he came from behind and he just came and kissed me. Like I almost on my lips because he came and he tapped me on the shoulder. So while I was turning around, he just, guys, I washed my face so much that night. I think my face was sore, literally sore. And for me, I think when I rededicated my life back to God, I went through deliverance from fear because I was so fearful, guys. At one time, I almost really got hit down by a vehicle because I was trying to avoid a mad person. So in 2015, I felt God was leading me to do my master's in counseling and social work. So I previously have a background in economics and statistics. So I was always a business student. So in 2015, when I felt the Lord, led me to do that, I knew nothing. This was not something. As in, I've always been counseling people. Like friends would come and ask me for advice and stuff, but I never thought of myself as an actual counselor, an actual social worker. I've always been helping people, always, my entire life. Sorry, I guess I got that from my father. I grew up seeing him always helping out other children, always giving, always supporting people. So I guess that was just in my blood. So me actually taking this approach, I knew that somehow this was my purpose and God was aligning me with purpose, and I obeyed. So when it came to I started learning about mental disorders in the program and stuff, and it kind of intrigued me. For so long I kind of shoved that whole thing in the background of my mind because of fear, and I just avoided talking about the topic, just like so many other people. Because as humans, when we fear something, we fear things that we don't have the knowledge of. So we naturally, instead of moving to find that knowledge about something or find the information, instead we fear it and we shun it, and we decide we don't want to be a part of it. So I really do understand why people have that kind of discrimination against mental illness. I really don't think it's a person. I think they just fear the whole idea of the illness because they don't understand it. They think that they can get it. I understand. So continuing, when it was time to do our internship, I don't know what got into me, but I decided that I didn't want fear to rule my life, or fear to stop me from pursuing purpose, or stop opportunities from coming my way. So I told them I wanted to go to Bellevue. Now, if you guys don't know what is Bellevue, Bellevue is the only residential mental health hospital in Jamaica and the entire Caribbean. So it's the only institution that has residential. What I mean by residential, has inpatients and outpatients. So you go to that hospital only if you have a mental illness, or you're having a psychotic breakdown or a psychotic episode, because you can have psychotic episodes without having a mental illness. But that's for the rest of the series, where I'll explain, little by little, what is mental health, what is mental illness, the difference between the two, the signs and the symptoms, the risk factors, the different types. I'm gonna go all in on that teaching series, so you guys can look out for it. Subscribe, click that notification bell so you'll be notified of these videos that will be dropping soon on this mental health series. So I went to Bellevue, and no doubt I got there. I remember they were giving us a tour of the different wards, and immediately I attracted them. Patients, oh, I want to work with you, I want to talk to you. And it's Jamaica, so fluffy, curvy, sexy girl you want to talk to. And obviously the females was like, miss, and obviously I attracted them. And I remember my supervisor at the time, she turned and she said, hey, I think you're gonna be a lucky number here. They seem to have some liking to you. And I said, story of my life. But anyway, as I got the knowledge and the understanding and working there with the experience, it kind of opened my mind. And trust me, the few weeks, because I think I was there for 6 weeks first, I fell in love. I fell in love with everything mental, everything psychotic. I just fell in love with the whole thing. And I realized when, I started putting two together, this was my calling. My calling has always been mental illness, mental health, to work with persons, to spread awareness, to be that person who champions for them. I'm lost the words because I'm just so passionate about mental health, but I'm telling you the journey there, and that started that, and I've been in it since 2015. I graduated with my master's in 2017. I got the highest of my batch. I got it with distinction. It just turned out to be something so much more than me just being obedient to God. I've seen where it has opened so many doors for me. I'm not saying that your fear is gonna do all of this, or your fear is gonna end up your purpose, but sometimes your fear blocks you from achieving your purpose and from achieving your goals, because sometimes these things are levels, and fear blocks those levels that you need to pass through to reach your end goal. So yeah, that's really how I got into mental health / mental illness, because they're not the same. And now I'm actually pursuing a Doctor of Science in mental health. I mean, my parents are always shocked when they see the trajectory of my life. I started in business, and the funny thing, I thought I was gonna be that business person, and business was gonna be the major thing. And I didn't even get a first class honors in my bachelor's degree, which was in business. And in terms of when I look back in my life and what I've excelled in, everything that I've done extremely well in has to do with mental health or mental illness. I do have some books on some of my researches that I've done in mental health, mental illness. I do have projects that I've done in mental illness. I will leave them in the description below so you can go and check it out. I'm currently having I currently have a project called Code Bellevue in which I give Bellevue Hospital 12 monthly donations of personal care items. So if you want to donate, I'm going to leave my information below. You can find me on social media, on IG, on Facebook. You can send me a message, you can send me an email if you want to be a part of the project Code Bellevue. Bellevue receives less than 5% of the health budget, and they really survive on donations. So guys, I'm reaching out to you guys to please donate gently used clothes. If you want to give toothpaste, toothbrush, rags, lotion, soap, sanitary napkins, tissues, anything, guys, it's well appreciated. I usually give at the end of each month. The last working day of each month is when I turn over. I haven't done so for January because I haven't collected enough stuff as yet. So if you're interested, please see the information in the description below how you can be a part of this project. Yes, so thank you so much for watching today. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Comment on any experience you've had with any mad person on the road, any mad person at home, because trust me, there are more insane persons walking among us than those who are eating from the garbage pan. So, and remember guys, at the end of the day, there's no health without mental health. Your physical health is not enough. Without mental health, your physical health is nothing. So take the time to really promote good mental well-being. I will share videos. As I said, I'll do the series. So thank you so much for watching today, and you do enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.